here down at Mike's Famous Harley-Davidson, and I'm going to show you a very special motorcycle that traveled around the globe. The story about this bike is really quite remarkable, mainly because not only did this Sportster get ridden around the world, it's one of 89 motorcycles ever to do it, but it's the first Harley-Davidson to circumvent the entire globe. But it was done by this guy right here, Dave Barr. Dave Barr is a native Californian who rode this 1972 Harley-Davidson motorcycle around the world. His journey carried him across 6 continents and took a grueling 3.5 years. Now that was an ironhead Harley-Davidson. They weren't known to be the most reliable, but it's proof that with guts, determination, will, you can do it. 3.5 years from 1990 to 94, he went 83,000 miles and traveled around the world. To date, only 89 others have successfully toured the world by motorcycle, but Dave was the only one to have done it on an American-made Harley-Davidson. If that isn't enough of a distinction, Dave is also the only disabled person to have ever accomplished this feat. He's a double amputee who lost both of his legs to a landmine explosion in 1981 while serving on active duty in Angola. Dave has written and published a 500-page book about his journey around the world called Riding the Edge. He also produced a video by the same name. Deciding he needed yet another challenge, Dave set out on an adventure in the winter of 1996 and 1997. This time, his efforts earned him a place in the Guinness Book of World Records. The journey started at the Atlantic Ocean and carried him across Northern Europe, Russia, into Siberia, all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Dave did the entire 13,000-mile motorcycle journey in the dead of winter, okay? He was recently completed and published his second book, Riding the Ice, which documents this coast-to-coast adventure. So he was the first in the middle of the winter with no legs. Unbelievable. Not surprisingly, Dave received many requests to speak, so he's a motivational speaker and has spoke around the world. So Dave holds a distinction of being an individual who has served in active duty as a regular enlisted soldier in the armed forces of 4 different nations. It's guys like these that inspired me to do free admission to all military vets or active military personnel. So active museum, free admission. So he's the first double amputee skydiver in the world and the only disabled person to have ridden around the world on a motorcycle. He's the only individual to have ridden a Harley-Davidson motorcycle around the world. Nobody else in over 100 years of motorcycling has had the balls to ride a Harley-Davidson motorcycle around the world. And this guy did it with no legs. So just a total inspiration. He's also the first person to have established a Guinness Book World Record for traveling by a motorcycle across Northern Europe, Russia, and Siberia. That's hard enough to do that at any time, but in the dead of winter, hello, this guy's a fucking hero. He's a legend. He's a real deal. He's also a wounded warrior and Guinness World Record recipient. This is one of his bikes. This wasn't the Ironhead that he traveled cross country. This may have been the bike that he took across Siberia. I'm not sure, but shows here Vietnam Veterans MC. Australia gave him a sticker when he was there. This shop here, Mike's Famous Harley-Davidson, if we look around, if it looks familiar to you, I did a video here about this place, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. It's called Mike's Famous Harley-Davidson, and it's an old Coca-Cola factory that was repurposed into a Harley-Davidson franchise. Outside they do motorcycle safety course riding. If you want to get your license, it's right here in New London, Connecticut. Christy and I came down here for the weekend. We stayed at Water's Edge Resort. So far we've been to Hammonasset Beach. We've been to Westbrook Town Beach. We went to the Godfather's house, Carl Slicer's house in Westbrook. We went to Pilot's Point Beach in Westbrook. We went to, where else did we go?
Miami Beach.
Miami Beach, what else?
We tried to go to Rocky Neck, but we couldn't.
We couldn't get in the Rocky Neck. They were sold out. They were near Harkness Memorial Park. That's our next stop. Then we're going to stop at the Gillette Castle, possibly on the way home. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you guys out there.
Happy Father's Day, Dads.
Junior's at Southwick, riding with Taylor's filming him there, so hopefully there'll be some good footage of him ripping the 500 later. Expecting a text from him any second, and then meeting up with him later. So thank you all for watching. Happy Father's Day. God bless America, and God bless kick-ass Americans like this guy, soldiers who fought for their country and didn't let that type of injury stop him. It's an inspiration. Guys like him, guys like Jimmy. Jimmy, our one of our techs. Jimmy, he has heart replacement surgery, and he just got a KTM 380, and he's going back to riding off-road. That thing's a beast of a bike, and he's got a Suzuki GS 1150. I broke my back 2 years ago. I'm still riding. It's all in the heart. Don't let your brain tell you you can't do things that the body can accomplish great things if you push it. Here's a guy who pushed it to the limit. Maybe not go quite that far, but it inspires you. Get off the couch If your bike's been sitting and it hasn't been running, fire it up, get out there and ride. Just promise yourself you ride every day for 30 days. Once you get it running, get in the groove. 30 days can turn into 60, can turn into 90. So far, it's June 21st. There's only 2 days I haven't ridden my bike this year, and that's because I was working my ass off around the clock, and I couldn't get to it. But and there's been many days I've ridden 5 or 6 bikes, so ride every day. Have fun, keep the shiny side up. God bless America. Happy Father's Day.